have very little communication in a two-way sense with the machine system. The fifth cranial nerve, and where the embouchure is concerned, is probably purely sensory. There are other parts of it in various phases where there are certain motor activities. The seventh cranial nerve is the motor nerve that governs the embouchure. What you learn by feel is completely inadequate to make judgments. In other words, your lip feels good when you sound good, and it feels bad when you sound bad. Which comes first? You see what I mean? And so, really, when you teach this sort of subject, you do it based very much on insisting that the student becomes a fine musician and becomes musically apt to deliver a musical product to somebody else. Not how he does it. Get the music, get it all wrong, but make it sound great. The next generation will try to do it your way.
That it's amazing how you can function. You don't have to spend an hour finding a spot. In other words, the main thing, it doesn't have to, you don't have to go by feel. You feel the embouchure, signals go to the brain, goes up the fifth cranial nerve, which at this level of your function will be the fifth cranial nerve. And how it feels really is not terribly important. You'll find what happens when you sound great, it feels good. When you are playing very poorly, it feels bad. And which do you correct first, the feel? No, you correct the sound. You correct the sound and don't worry about the feel, because every professional musician has had this experience of going on the stage, not feeling well, and still doing a presentable job musically under adverse conditions. And that embouchure does not have to feel good to function. You see what I mean? That we do have to have at that time our musicianship. We have to have the song in the head, which goes down the seventh cranial nerve, which is a motor nerve, carries a flow, electron flow to the lip, to the receptors in the lip. The lip will give you a reflex response to a stimuli from the brain. Very important that when you play, you get the brain activated, because what we're dealing with is a system in the body that has to do with our ability to communicate to others. You have to understand that the intelligence of a human being has to do with your ability to cope with life around you, but not life within you. In other words, you have the five senses. You have the receptors of the eyes. You see, you hear to the auditory nerve. You taste, you feel, so forth, etc. But the point that is, when you're playing, you are using motor systems, not sensory. That indicates a completely different way of thinking. You cannot ask questions as a dominant factor. At the time you're playing, you have to issue statements and be willing to make mistakes. Well, this is the thing, you know what I mean, in the sense that somewhere in your brain, you concentrate on this as though this were an aria, and that there were words, and it is from you to the audience. So the circuitry is not from you to you. There's always feedback. There's always a certain awareness of your own playing. Take enough air that you can waste it. It's free. It don't cost anything. But don't make a big deal of it. And now, what would a great B flat sound like? You've heard wonderful B flats. Yeah, now, turn it on. That's all right. She's setting it up. Now, instead, would you sing a word? Just take the word, Now, if you sing that while you're playing trombone, so that actually this is a note that has to do with love. And you sing it to the audience. Now, don't think how you're going to do it or you spoil it. Just think of what it would sound like if it were right. That's it. Try it again. Would you do it an octave higher? As a singer, you're very familiar with vowels. Can you think of a word with a vowel O, or we can even use ah? O.